Alright, well, doing a little bit of, I guess you'd call it detail work on the spreader today. Been a slow day, really. I woke up late. Of course, I was up late. We were over at a buddy's shop shooting the shit, watching the rain, because that was really all we could do last night. But, anyway, yeah, went into town this morning, got some boiled linseed oil. That's some nasty stuff, I tell you what. This is the first I've ever dealt with it. It's not nasty. It's about the consistency of vegetable oil, which it basically is. But, went and got that. Had to get a starter belt for the lawnmower, because I shucked one, and, well, was just about ready to shuck one. And me and Teeter went to Rural King, and she got to see all the peoples, and I got her a new thing of treats. Because every time we go to Rural King or TSC, I get her a bag of treats or a toy or something. Because she's a spoiled little brat. And then I came home came over to Mom and Dad's here and got all the wood. I gave it a quick sand on both sides. I didn't get too carried away because it's not furniture, it's just a manure spreader. But everything I've read about finishing wood for to apply linseed oil says you want to give it a light sanding. So I sanded both sides with a palm sander and gave it its first coat of linseed oil, which makes it feel really weird. It's like, almost feels like bowling alley wood now. But it took that. I could not believe how fast it soaked up that first coat of it. Like I could get one. I soaked the rag completely. It was clear full, and I could get half of a board. Then I'd have to re-soak it and get another half, and it's already got it mostly taken in, but it's still got a film on it. And it says everything that all the research I've done on this, you want to let it soak all the way in before you apply your second coat. And you can kind of see how far it's made it in already. It's about to right there. And in theory, it should make it all the way through the wood if you do it right. So, now the shitty part is, it would be nice if I could, well, it'd be nice if I had a third set of sawhorses, because I have 4 boards that I had to stack, but I have to do something when I go to paint it, because you're not going to be able to do that. But it'd be nice if I had a spot where I could just set everything up and leave them on sawhorses and let them dry, but I got to get this stuff out of here so that Mom can have her garage spot back, so have to let it dry until I get ready to leave, take it down in the barn, stack it, and then tomorrow after work, come back up here, put it all back out, give it another coat. Also, at some point this week, I got to get Dad's grain truck rolling, because kind of going to need that, so I'm going to have to get the water pump put on it. Because hopefully, we'll see what happens. I might have recruited some help to get wheat cut, so that when it does come dry, we can just hammer it out and be done with it. If I knew we were going to have, a nice solid week of decent weather, I'd just do it by myself. But so sounds like there's going to be at least one other combine, older combine, possibly 2. I'm hoping for the second one, because that'll be kind of neat, but we'll see what happens. It's been a while since that one's been in the field. So anyway, this part's, I didn't video it because who wants to watch oil dry? So that's done, and I have to get the paddles off of their castings so that I can get them down in a press and straighten them out so they're not like spaghetti. And I really should drag the frame down here and power wash it, and power wash the gearbox. I might do that first, because it's spitting rain right now. They say we got, well, let's see what the weather says. It says Luckily, the rain that was supposed to come last night that they were calling for a 1/4 inch, I don't even think we couldn't even have got a 1/10 because it didn't even make the float come up in my rain gauge. So that was nice. And it was supposed to rain all day today, and so far it spit like a couple times, but it never even made the concrete wet. So now they pushed our chances back to later tonight. And even then, there's nothing over about the highest I see is a 55% chance tonight at 6. No, never mind. Tomorrow morning at 6. But we got chances of rain tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, nothing. Thursday, we got chances. Friday, we got chances. Saturday, we got chances. What a shit show. But anyway, back to the spreader project. So I'm going to bring the paddles in here, and we'll get the rivets ground off, get the paddles knocked apart, so I can get them pressed out straight, and then I'll just bolt them back together, because you almost got to make a tool for the rivets, and then you got to find rivets, and bolts will do the job. Okay, so I wanted to lay these out to see what I had for parts, but so when you assemble this distributor, you look at these brackets. They want you to have one in the center where the dog ears line up with each other. And then everything after that, they want them to alternate and cross over each other on the two on either side. So, so you need 4 sets. Yeah, 4 sets, not 4 sets of paddles that alternate, and 1 set that's the same. Well, I got this set that'll alternate. This set will alternate. This set is the same. This set alternates. That set's the same. And it's not like you can reverse anything because these castings are a right and a left. One is a 71 SR, and the other one is a 70 SR. It looks like. It's hard to tell. It's definitely a 70 something, but one's a 70 and one's a 71, so there's a left and a right, so you gotta make a left and a right. Now, the kicker of it is, when I was cleaning up my woods, I found like 5 or 6 manure spreader paddles. Turns out, after I got this, they were New Idea paddles. They were perfect. They had been buried out in the dirt next to that hog shed in my backyard, and when I started cleaning stuff up, I found them all. Well, not knowing at that time what kind of spreader they fit, or if I was ever even going to own a manure spreader at that point, because this was like 6 months ago, 7 months ago, I scrapped them. So I would have had enough parts to put this back together if I hadn't scrapped them. That's a kick in the balls. So next time I'm down to the junkyard, I'm going to have to see if I can come up with a New Idea spreader and I'll probably just buy an upper and a lower paddle so that I know I got the right set. And so I can make the distributor balanced right. So, yeah. But anyway, for now, gotta knock all these rivets out, get all the paddles off, so that we can get why these all got kinked like that, I don't know, but they're supposed to be flat. Okay, so I got these 4 done. Before I started videoing, I wanted to get a process down because these things come apart kind of, well, the way I was doing it first, they came apart hard, and then I remembered, oh hey, once again, air hammer. Mint. I think I've used that thing more in the last 2 weeks than I have in, I don't know, I hardly ever use it. I've like, up until this point, I've never used that, like, ever. We used it doing the body work on the 8700. Look at her, right there. Look at it, being all majestic and shit. But, yeah. Anyway, I wanted to do all of the ones that face one way before I did the ones that face the other way, just to make sure everything went back together right. So I did these 4. As you can see, nice and straight for the most part. You can only do so much because you're fighting this web profile they got in it. But that is a lot better than that. Eh. Eh. We broke the socket adapter for our little gun and haven't got a new one yet, so I gotta use this big ox on the lowest torque setting. Okay, so these guys are done. That's a lot nicer. I mean, they're still got some kinks in them because, like I said, you can only do without having a die to restamp them to put this profile back in them, or without making a tool to go in there, which is a possibility in the future. But the problem is you have to make a tool to do a straight and then one to match this curve, and it's a manure spreader. It is what it is. You know, you gotta, there comes a time where you gotta say, all right, this is good enough compared to what I started with and for the job I was doing. But there's spots where this strengthening web is kind of flattened out and whatnot, and you gotta fight that, try to figure out what's flat and what's not. But compared to the boomerangs I started with, I'm gonna call a win on that. This guy has one of the dog ears broke off. Like that? Yeah, like that. And then this one was damn near, it's broke there and it's cracked up to about halfway between here and here. So, gotta weld this back together. I'm not too sure about welding on these because they almost, the way they act, they're not regular just carbon steel. They almost act like they have a little bit of spring steel type you know, they're a little springy, which would make sense for what they're doing, because you'd want them to be able to flex a little bit when they hit a solid chunk of manure and then spring back into shape. So phone calls. Well, I don't know if he meant to call me or not. I'll call him back here in a second. So anyway, gotta get the welder out and fix this guy before we can put it back on its bracket. And I gotta find 3 more stover nuts. Hopefully we got some, otherwise I gotta get a box tomorrow. Okay, sorry I didn't show any video welding that, but I've found out that directly videoing welding with a camera is a little hard on them and can, like, fuck them up. So I need to see if I can get like a little tinted glass square deal that I can set in front of it to shield it from the light, you know, like you would a welding helmet when you're wearing it. So anyway, I got this welded together. It actually welded really nice. Really nice. I'm surprised. And I didn't find any stover nuts, but I found these crimped style where they doink the threads to make them lock. So good enough to put it together anyway. Man. There you go. So, other than having to find 1 more or 2 more to make my stagger right on that back beater, which we can do that at a later date, because this time of year you do not go down to the junkyard. You won't be able, the only thing you'll find is poison ivy and snakes. So have to do that in the fall, but this will be enough to get that thing usable so we can spread some shit. So anyway, it's raining now, so I don't think I'm going to be doing any power washing on that thing. And it's getting close to 5 o'clock, and to tell you the truth, I'm kind of just thinking about taking the rest of the afternoon off, put this video together real quick, get it uploading, and probably just go home and enjoy the rest of the shitty Sunday. Not that Sundays are shitty, but this weather just really just does not put you in the mood to do anything. But really, all I got left to do, I need to get the feeder, I need to get the web chain, I need to lay it out and make sure all the bars are spaced out even, because I think I need to take probably 2 links out of it because it was stretched pretty far. I might take the tensioners off the front and remachine them and put bigger pins in because they're kind of sloppy. And need to... Dad thinks he can find some of these shaft couplings with the keyway already cut into them. That way we don't have to make them, but if not, gonna have to make a couple of these, which ain't no big deal. Need to do some reconstruction on this bad boy at some point. But other than that, and power washing the frame, and welding the foot on the jack, it's all this little piddly detail-y shit. It's nothing that's really going to take a whole lot of time to do, it's just doing it. But probably gonna fiddle fuck with that some this week. Like I say, I probably tomorrow or Tuesday, I gotta work on Dad's C65, get the water pumping it, because I'm gonna need that thing to cut weed if I'm running more than one combine. But other than that, until the weather straightens out, this little project is probably going to be what's taking up the majority of the time this week. So probably look for a few more parts of it here. So anyway, I guess that's enough of me rambling. Sorry there wasn't a whole lot of meat to it other than really fixing these paddles, which they were a project in themselves. So I guess that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.